Oh man, there's just an overwhelming amount of this kind of pre-launch hype everywhere from influencers and bloggers. To be honest, I was already lying in bed today, but I couldn't help opening the self-media platform and scrolling. I just wanted to see when DJI's Pocket 4P is actually going to be released and whether it's been released or not. They started teasing it back in May and now it's June 5th. Now it's already June 5th and there's still no movement. Isn't this taking way too long? Isn't it just DJI and this film and video Luna competing with each other? But fine, compete all you want. Just don't keep consumers hanging. A normal teaser period of 1 to 2 weeks is something I can accept, but this has been almost more than a month. Everyone knows this business model, right? It boosts hype. More exposure, sure, but as a consumer, honestly, it does feel kind of frustrating. And look at the previous Pocket 3, right? Pocket 4 is still out of stock in a lot of places too. I'm not sure whether this is hunger marketing or if they really just can't make enough units. So first, let's talk about how to choose between these two. In my view, I would definitely, without hesitation, side with DJI. It's not that Zhiyun is bad, it's actually pretty good too. But DJI's ecosystem is hard to beat. I've got DJI microphones, right? I also have the Insta360 X5 360 camera plus drones and so on, right? I've got a bunch of DJI gear, so if I buy the Pocket 4P, I'm really buying the ecosystem and the iterations too. DJI's Pocket has already reached the 4th generation. If this 4P gets replaced, that'd be the 5th. Plainly, it's a product built up over almost 5 generations. But the Film Luna is a 1st-gen phone product, so as a consumer, I'm more willing to pay for that stability, right? I used the Polo 3 for years, never had a single issue, and I felt at ease. But Luna it's a 1st-gen product. Who knows if it has bugs? And if it feels smooth, you'd still need time to get used to it, but I definitely choose DJI. It's not that Insta360's Luna is bad, it's actually pretty good, but look-wise, Luna feels more balanced and easier on the eyes. DJI Pocket's lens has that top and bottom layout, like the Air 3S, right? The setup is exactly the same. There isn't much depth, and design-wise, it still feels a bit top-heavy. Next, I have to complain about DJI this time. It's really not fair. You know how DJI's previous product, the Action 6, was. I remember they dropped that teaser on November 4th last year, then officially launched on the 18th, just 2 weeks. And Cannon Fodder 4 was even wilder. Pre-orders opened April 2nd, it was officially announced on the 9th, and it hit stores on the 16th. Start to finish, that was still under half a month. That was 4P. From the warm-up marketing in May to now, I even started asking sales in late April, right? During the Cannes Film Festival in May, I really thought it would drop, but it kept slipping all the way to June 5th. It's already June 5th, and there's still no news. Even worse, this Insta360 Luna still hasn't come out either. They both ended up showing up on the 19th at the NBA or some other expo saying it'd go on sale worldwide in June, but right now there's still no sign of anything. Both companies are just, Honestly, I don't even know what to say about these two companies. Wasn't I planning to head out on a trip on June 8th? What's going on? I thought I'd be able to get it by the end of May or early June at the latest, but now it looks like I'll have to go out with just my C2 and this 2070 lens. They're actually pretty similar. DJI has a 20mm wide end and a 60mm tele end. I used to think it went to 70mm, but later with the doubling and doubling, it's really only 60mm. I'm guessing the mid-range focal lengths are all done with digital cropping, so the image quality definitely won't be as good as this camera's. This 2070 is an optical zoom, but the camera is full frame with an X aperture at just f4 in low light conditions. You might still get some noise. And the Power 4P, well, that one has a 1-inch sensor, right? But its advantage is that it comes with a built-in gimbal. It's compact and convenient. Unfortunately, it just won't make it in time for my trip. And let's talk about the Poly 4's specs. Everyone knows it's been revealed to have D-Log, and it claims a 17-stop dynamic range, but only the wide-angle lens has that. It doesn't have that telephoto lens. It comes with a detachable remote, and there's a white option. Women might like the white one a bit more, but I think the standalone POS unit is enough because it comes with a fill light by default, and I think that's a must-have. When filming vlogs in low light, the difference between having fill light and not having it is pretty big. As for the remote, here's how I see it. It depends on the person because the device's screen is already small, and the remote screen is also pretty small. First, looking at the controls, it's honestly not as good as using a phone. With my phone, the DJI Memo app connects directly, the screen is bigger, it can record, and it can control the joystick too. At least that's how it feels to me. It's kind of conflicting, right? Also, the microphone in the kit, I don't think it's really that necessary because I personally already have several DJI microphones. In the past few years, DJI microphones and the Osmo Action series basically pair seamlessly over Bluetooth. If it's just you, that's fine, but generally one microphone isn't enough. You might need to add another one later. I think you'd be better off just buying the standalone unit, and then later you can buy the kit microphone separately, and that'll be okay. For the price, my earlier prediction was 3,999, right? At 3,999 yuan compared to the Osmo 4P, that's basically a 1,000 yuan loss. If it really is 3,999 or even 3,799, I think that's totally fine, no issues. But if, like some leaks say, this Anya Yao is 2,000 more expensive than the POS machine and will sell for 4,999, then I don't think it's needed. So with this budget, I might as well just go straight for an APS-C mirrorless camera, right? And it would still have interchangeable lenses. If I buy this camera, honestly, it really just comes down to what the budget allows. If the bundle price is $4,399 or $4,699, that's acceptable too, right? Yeah, I think those prices are all very reasonable. It just depends on what the actual price ends up being. I think both of those prices are totally fine. Even though the DJI 4P still hasn't been released, wow, it's being hyped up everywhere by all these creators. There's way too much of this pre-launch hype from all kinds of bloggers, but I don't think everyone should take it too seriously. Let's just be honest. If people are saying DJI can completely crush the FX3 and totally overpower all kinds of cinema cameras, I don't think that aligns with basic physical common sense. With things on the physical level like dynamic range and color science on a full-frame camera, how is a 1-inch sensor supposed to compete? Those bloggers all have professional shooting teams with really polished post-production, so an average person, even if you use a 4P, you still can't get the same results as they do, right? The advantage of the Pocket 4P is that it's small and convenient, and it has a built-in gimbal, right? For a pocket camera at this size, it's definitely top tier, but if you want that kind of background blur, if you want to shoot those sweet, glossy-looking shots, if you want to take photos with a strong vibe and atmosphere, I think there's no question. It definitely has to be a camera. The 4P Lite is 20 segments. For shooting vlogs, I prefer the 16 to 18 segment. It can capture more of the environment and convey more of the story. Overall, the Power 4P is indeed a good machine. Currently, in terms of parameters, it's still a very good thing. In many aspects, it can indeed compare with mirrorless cameras. For individual creators or enthusiasts, it's completely sufficient and much more convenient than a mirrorless camera. If the price is really $3,799 or $3,999, it's definitely worth buying. Just hope everyone stops with the scarcity marketing. Look at the previous Action 5 Pro, Action 6. When they were first released, you had to rush to buy them, but now you can buy them easily. Those who want to buy will naturally buy, right? There's no need to keep people in suspense. Alright, that's all I'll say for today. If the Power 4P is released, I'll also do some reviews for everyone. Some real hands-on, practical use. That's all for today. Respect.